Today's guest on the Goonery, Alex with Game Break Sports. I'm one of your co-hosts, Uncle Adam. With me, as always, the innkeeper and Brandon Colley. This is the Goonery. What's going on, folks?
What's going on, man? What you guys been up to?
Sports are back.
Hey, that's all I've been watching.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Tell me about it. Oh, it's a good day to finally get it back, especially dealing with the shit that we've been going through. Oh, can we curse on here? I don't know.
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
curse.
yeah.
You can pick a beer. There's really no real
No
rule
rules. All
restrictions.
right, cool.
Unfiltered and hot takes. That's what I like to say.
Yeah. So, first up on the list today, sports are back, and what's everyone watching?
Me
I'll say
personally, I've just been
oh,
watching.
my
Oh, my
bad.
bad, Brandon. Yeah, but
Oh, my bad. But I've been into basketball, and it's crazy because baseball is my second favorite sport. But for some reason, I feel like something's missing with baseball, and maybe it's from the standpoint of being a Cardinals fan and not seeing them play. That's probably why I'm not fully engaged. But from basketball, I just like how that it's a continuation of the season that actually was going on before this whole thing happened. And on top of that, you're seeing the good teams play. It's contrary to seeing 82 games with some games you just don't want to see on a nightly basis. And now you're seeing matches like the Lakers and Clippers. You got the Lakers and Rockets, got Bucks and Heat. Like those are the games you want to see. Rather than seeing the Lakers play the Hornets or someone like that. So they've really got my attention. I've been tapped in ever since it started, and I've enjoyed every single minute of it so far.
yeah, and admittedly, Brandon, I'm not a big basketball guy, but these bubble games, they've been fantastic to watch. The
Yeah.
competition, I mean, it's just been wildly entertaining. And I'm a huge baseball guy, so I've been watching a ton of baseball, obviously. But I mean, the NBA games are just so much more competitive, and it's interesting seeing the strategies like the top seeds like the Lakers. I mean, the Thunder really handled them the other day, and
Yeah.
I mean, that Thunder team's been fun to watch.
They have. They're surprising too, and I think a lot of people wrote them off after Russell left, and they had Chris Paul come in. They feel like he had no one, but then you have Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, you have Steven Adams. They have a good young team, other than Chris Paul, obviously, but they have a team that can give some teams fits because they play good defensively, and they're just balanced.
Yeah, I thought they did a great job with the bubble and how that looks. Not missing the fans a whole bunch. I think, given the circumstances. Uh, so how did basketball officially come back? Is it similar to hockey with kind of seeding for a playoff structure?
Because if I'm not mistaken, hockey is a little different because like they're like doing like actual qualifying games. I guess you could say the same thing with the NBA, with like the AC teams because that's the teams that's mostly like competing for the playoffs. But I think because I believe it's eight season games for the NBA, and then they jump into the playoffs. So yeah, I guess you could say it's somewhat the same thing, but just different in its own ways.
Yeah, man. I've been definitely staying in tune with some basketball because I mean, just the fact that we have something to watch on TV is great. Hopefully, the NFL is able to pull through. MLB had that little scare in the beginning, but I like watching the whole. I don't know if you guys saw the Joe Kelly and the Astros extravaganza. So,
Yeah, I saw
you know
that.
what I'm saying? So
Pitcher got suspended.
yeah. So, I mean, just the beef that's going on in the MLB and then in basketball, seeing Zion out there, Ja and all of them competing for playoff spots. The Trailblazers kind of sneaking their way back into the playoff hunt. I saw that they had a simulation where they actually had like a 0.1% chance to get to win the actual NBA finals, according to some simulation experts. So, I'm excited to see it, man. I'm excited to see it. Watch some sports again. Hopefully, the Trailblazers
Dude,
get
it's
in
so
there.
great. It's so great. I had to splurge on MLB.TV through my Amazon Prime, and being a Chicago fan, and that's paid off already. Just watching a few games this past week, and uh, I'm pumped for a sprint in baseball. I think it's something new. Um, you know, it's completely different from, you know, how the regular season is normally played. But I think it's exciting just to get out there every day, and, you know, you can't really hold anything back. And I mean, a fucking blistering start for Chicago baseball right now. Just so exciting to watch.
Oh yeah, and the thing is, we're talking about that 60-game sprint. It's just like injecting cocaine right in your veins, like
Yeah.
and it's just like you can't fuck up at all, and it's awesome. But I'm not personally having a hard time buying in, but the rest of the country is, considering baseball ratings are down, and I just don't think anyone can buy in because you had teams like the Marlins who are obviously back from their coronavirus scare.
Right.
But you have the Cardinals too, who just decided they should go out to the casino in Lake of the Ozarks. Like, these guys need to, I mean, now more than ever, people are watching sports, and MLB is still fumbling the bag, and that shouldn't surprise anyone, but it is.
Yeah, I saw on the overall standings, there's some teams that have played significantly more games than some other teams. Hope they can, you know, squeeze all those games in, and everyone's health and safety is mitigated.
Yeah, they dropped the schedule for the canceled games, thankfully.
Mm-hmm.
That was the one thing I was concerned about, but it's going to be in a timely manner, so I'm good with that.
Y'all watching any UFC?
Let's go. I saw the Masvidal fight.
Yeah.
That was the last fight I watched too.
Yeah, it was crazy. They released like a video on like his training regimen prior. He had to cut 20 pounds in 6 days, bro. And
Yeah, he looked. He didn't look like the Jorge Masvidal a few fights before that.
Yeah, he definitely didn't. But like
But
at
I
the
don't know if
same
that was
time,
more Usman just being so.
yeah, that's just what he does, bro. I mean, like, similar to the way that Mayweather does in boxing, where he's very defensive and like just thinking about the game constantly. He's not really going for the explosive, you know, knockout or anything like that. Usman has a similar game style to him. Just focuses on grappling and keeping his opponent locked down. So it wasn't as fun to watch, you know, seeing Masvidal because he was kind of locked up most of the time. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's too bad. I think UFC is one of those sports too that I think feeds off the fans a little bit. They're kind of missing the fans when they're, you know, just fighting in that cage and in front of no one.
I do agree with you on that, Adam, but I think it's been pretty cool from a fan's perspective, just being able to hear the corners on TV. Obviously, the fighters are thriving.
I wish they do it more. I wish
No,
they
I agree.
cut in the piping of the fan noise, which I wasn't sure about. I just want to hear the players chirping. I want to hear the shit they're talking. I want to tweet all that shit on the Goonery, man. They're saying some fucking crazy shit, and I want to hear it all. I think.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely seeing some personalities coming out of some athletes that you really wouldn't have seen before, with the lack of fans in the stands and just the loudness on the court, field, ice, whatever. Like last night, you heard a loud F-bomb from Jonathan Taze. Not something you would expect, but I mean, hey.
They should have like a rated R sports network where you could just hear the players talking and not have to worry about, you know, FCC rules or whatever it is that, you know, players have to. You can't hear the F-bombs and shit, even though we know what they're saying.
Yeah, now would be the best time to incorporate it. You're gonna hear everything from basketball, football, UFC. You're gonna hear everything. So
The hardcore fans, yeah, who want to hear strategy and communication, you know, that's such an important part of the game that, you know, gets missed with people, with the fans. You know, you just can't hear it over the fan noise.
Yeah, definitely. And the basketball world is kind of doing it cool too, to where they have all the fans that you could just see them watching the game like on a live stream. So that's pretty interesting, you know, seeing Chris Bosh's and Paul Pierce's reactions because they've tuned into the game. So I like what they did there.
Sports are back, and they're paving the way for NFL. So things are looking good.
Yeah, I think what we've learned so far from sports being back is that if the NFL is going to work, though, they're going to need a bubble. I think like the NBA, and that's just not going to happen. So
NHL too, kind of, right?
The NHL is kind of in a bubble as well. They're in Toronto and Edmonton, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I mean, especially with college football, playing the conference only schedules. So going to a Big Ten school, being at Illinois, it doesn't make sense to me how we think it's okay for teams to travel from Nebraska to New Jersey to go play Rutgers.
Yeah.
But you can't play non-conference games. I don't get the logic. So I don't think college football is going to happen, but I think there's still hope for the NFL.
Next spring.
Man,
I mean, I would love to have college basketball and college football going on simultaneously, but
Crazy.
I don't know. That would be bad for my bank account.
going off what you said, Ben, like I mean, as much as I would love to hear like the NFL pulling off a bubble, like not only from like a standpoint of like other teams being very far away, but like when you do look at it as a roster perspective, you got 53-man rosters across 32 teams. You're looking at almost 1,600 players. That's a lot of people to keep in a bubble. So I don't know where they would be able to pull that off, but if they could, man, I'm a diehard football fan. Every year, it's like the sport that I look forward to watching my team play, even though they've been disappointing me year in and year out.
Who's your team?
The Giants.
Oh, the New York Football Giants.
Yeah, man.
Good times.
It's been a rough few years in the NFC East, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's Saquon, though, man.
Yeah, we got some good things to look forward to, but yeah, right now it's not doing too hot. Hopefully, Daniel Jones fixes the fumbling problem.
Quick take, Daniel Jones.
I would rather have Daniel Jones than what we have going on in Chicago right now.
Oh yeah,
I agree.
So you guys are all Bears fans.
Yeah.
Oh man. So what's going on with that tight end situation that you guys got going on over there?
I think they narrowed it down from 11 to about 9 now.
I think there's still 10 on the active roster, so there's room for more.
That's awesome, man.
At least we got rid of the worst one there, which was Shaheed.
The truth.
Ugh.
So are you guys? So like, are you guys big Tariq Cohen fans, or you guys want David Montgomery?
I think he's the most. I think Tariq Cohen's the most overrated player on the entire team, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like
Tariq Cohen. He didn't do shit this past year. He's an okay blocker, but I think he dropped more passes than anyone on the team this past year. And he can't run between the tackles.
Montgomery.
Yeah, I want to like Tariq Cohen so bad, and I think that his ceiling is really, really big. It's just a matter of getting him in a consistent spot where you're not putting him all around the field, and he just has to do too much at once. And you know, I never really thought about him being the most overrated player, but you know what? Considering what I saw last year, you might have a point, Ben. You really do.
My thing is with Tariq Cohen, real quick, last thing. It's not that he's a bad player. I just think that Matt Nagy thinks he has more in him than he does. He wants him to fit that Tyreek Hill role so badly, and he's just trying to will it into existence.
Yeah. I'm glad you said the Tyreek Hill role, because I see that too. Getting back to your fighting question from a few minutes ago, y'all see that Mike Tyson out of retirement fight coming?
Yeah, Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah.
So I heard that supposedly, I don't know if it's true or not, or a rumor, I saw it in some article, but that they're not even going to be, if either Mike Tyson or Roy Jones Jr. goes for the knockout, they're cutting the fight. They're like canceling the fight out. So they're going to be watching like whether or not, it's only going to be like a 8-round bout. They're going to have 12-ounce gloves instead of 10-ounce gloves, like different stipulations. It's not going to affect their records.
Those big lobster claws.
Yeah, man. So I'm interested. It's going to be awesome to see him back out there, though. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It's going to be. They're going to make a lot of money.
Seeing my favorite box of all time, which is Roy Jones Jr., going against my dad's favorite box, that's going to be interesting. But I must say, I feel bad for Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah.
I feel extremely, because watching his last fights when he was getting older and older and older, I've seen some vicious knockouts, and most of them were from him. And him. I'm all over the place, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But I feel bad for him. I really do.
What's it for? Isn't it for some like charity or something?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably
I'm
like
just excited.
Thing.
Yeah, I'm just excited considering I was 5 years old the last time Mike Tyson fought. So this will be the first one I actually remember. So
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I think
But we have
forgettable.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, towards the end it was pretty rough. But I think the undercard fight that's just absurd. It's like whatever Paul brother and Nate Robinson.
Oh Jesus.
The basketball player?
Yes,
Yeah,
the basketball
yeah.
player.
That's
I
gonna
mean,
be
people
interesting.
people sleep on how good of an athlete Nate Robinson is. I know he won two dunk contests, but he played football and basketball at Washington. The guy's a
Definitely
freak.
did.
He's a business owner here in Seattle. He opened up a little wing joint over in Capitol Hill, formerly known as Chaz Chop. They don't have any blue cheese there though, so
I could live without it.
Don't remember that.
Blue cheese
all right,
is not bad.
moving on. One of the things that stuck out is the that extra innings in Major League Baseball. The man on second to start the. Sorry, I had a few too many Raniers today.
Good, bro.
I don't know. What were your guys' thoughts? Who wants to kick it off?
I mean, I'm all for baseball trying new things, obviously, and I don't hate it at all. I mean, it's taken straight from Little League. It's fine in my opinion. This is the year where if you're going to try something new as a league, just go for it.
Yeah.
So we've seen a couple really exciting things come from this extra innings rule. I mean, 2 walk-off grand slams. I've been a fan of it so far. I haven't been able to see my White Sox go through it yet, but
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I liked it. It definitely brought a lot of drama to the extra innings there. It wasn't necessarily like, oh, this is just too easy and teams are, you see a lot of strategy in baseball that you'll not see 97% of the time anyway. Yeah, I thought it was exciting. It's an experimental year. We have, league-wide DH. We have, shortened season. Why not, spice up the extra innings instead of doing a tie or something lame like Premier League?
Yeah, I was one of these get off my lawn type of dudes because I'm so old school when it comes to baseball, and I don't want too many changes to come from baseball because I don't feel like it's
I don't
needed.
blame you one bit.
And in terms of pace of play, that is something that you want to improve on because you don't want to drive baseball fans away. Because not for nothing, the demographic for baseball fans in terms of age is trending older and older and older. And you do have that in the middle where like 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds are getting into the sport like late, but it's usually the older people. But I think I speak for all of us when I say there have been times where games have ran from the 16th to 17th inning, and you're literally begging for the game to end. It doesn't even matter if your team wins or loses. You just want to go to sleep. So in that regard, I don't mind this rule now because you just want the games to end and not run to 2 o'clock in the morning. And
I know.
And,
I root for a loss over extra innings sometimes.
Yeah.
It's just during a normal season, not during this 60-game sprint, but it's just so painful to watch them, swing and miss and have terrible quality at bats trying to be the hero in extra innings and dragging it out. It's like watching 2 games in one.
Right.
Too much.
Definitely.
All right. So with that being said, time to transition to the much anticipated throwback jersey draft.
Yes.
Alex, I'm not sure if you understood my notes that I emailed you prior to this, but we're just going to go in a little round robin here, and we're going to make 5 selections on what we think are the best retro throwback uniforms across any sport all time. And we'll put a little graphic together, and we'll have the fans vote on who hit a home run and who doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about.
So are we going one from each sport and then just a wild card?
No, I think you just pick. I mean, if you want to do all baseball, good luck. I think there's plenty of throwbacks in all the sports where we shouldn't have an issue.
Sounds good.
But yeah, I mean, it's a free forum here. So if anyone else has any objections before we get going, speak
Nope.
now.
Yeah. What's the draft order?
Forever hold your peace. Fuck, that's a great question. We'll start with the new guy, the guest, Alex, and then maybe we can just kind of go in clockwise.
All right. I'll probably have to go with, to start off, the Houston Oilers, the Texas. It's basically the
Fuck me,
Titans
dude.
AFL jerseys. They look
Oh
nasty.
man.
That would be one of my picks.
Oh
man.
man.
Those
I
are
like
so
those,
good.
popping those in Madden.
I love the Houston Oilers. Obsessed. The color scheme, amazing. All right. Excellent first pick. All right. That would be you, Ben, Mr. Innkeeper.
My bad. All right, so with my first pick, I am going to stay in the NFL, and I'm going to go with the '80s Patriots uniforms, the red, white, and blue with the Pat the Patriot on the helmet. I think those and the Oilers
Pat
are my top
Rives.
two. Those are my top two on my list. The Oilers was right up there, and I just think that Pat the Patriot logo on the helmet is awesome, and I think the Patriots should go back to those.
I agree.
Damn. If we're doing a run on NFL teams, I'm gonna go with the Chargers powder blues.
Okay.
Yes, I agree with that. But I'm gonna deviate from the NFL, and I'm gonna go the bias route. I'm gonna stick in the color scheme of the Oilers, but I'm gonna go with the powder blue 1980 St. Louis Cardinals uniforms.
Oh,
I love those.
Clean.
I love those.
Clean. I'm glad they brought them back. Regardless if it's a sporadic thing, I'm glad they brought them back in some capacity.
Brandon, my favorite part about those is that they're pullovers and not
Yes,
button-ups.
exactly. Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more.
I'm gonna
oh,
probably.
man.
Oof, man.
What a fiery first round. Should we keep going in order, or should we snake it back?
Yeah, we could snake it back.
All right. We appreciate it, because if we're gonna go baseball now, and we're talking sexy color, we're talking. Well, I'm just gonna say the Montreal Expos.
Yes.
Fucking
Pinstripe or the
put me down for the Montreal Expos.
pinstripes are fire.
Oh, I love that baby blue, red, white.
Yes.
Can't get me enough of that. All right. Moving on.
So my go, right?
I'm sorry, actually, Brandon, you probably should have picked two there.
It's all good. But I'm gonna go NFL route, and there's a lot of choices I could have picked. I was going to pick the Dolphins, but you know what? There's one jersey that always stuck out but doesn't get enough love. The Phil Simms, Lawrence Taylor era Giants uniforms. I think what sticks out to me is like they kind of like a Gotham look to it, especially with the helmet with
The
just
Giants
the Giants
on it.
underscore underline on it. I love it.
Man, I wish we could go back to those.
Y'all should 100%.
A lot
Those are
of
my favorites.
mid 80s football picks so far. Love it.
Definitely.
All right.
I think
I'm gonna go the NBA route with this pick.
there you go. Don't take my pick.
I'm gonna go with the Vancouver Grizzly jerseys. The Grizzlies have been wearing during the bubble. I love that they have like the paw prints on the trim and just the weird font on the chest and that big ass grizzly on the thigh. They're awesome.
So for my pick, I'm gonna go with the '97 Hawks, the Atlanta Hawks jerseys.
Ooh.
They got the black on top, the red on the bottom, and the big red hawk on the jersey. I think those are super cool. That'll probably be my pick. Then for another jersey, I'm probably gonna go back, to the New Jersey Nets.
Oh man!
On my list.
Oh no!
Jerseys going with the red, white, and blue. So that's probably my pick. Back when Julius Erving used to play there. So yeah, man.
Good pick.
Since it was Snake, I got two picks, but whatever.
All right, yeah, no, that works.
All right, so then with my third pick, I am going to I'm gonna go with the hockey route, and I'm gonna go with the Anaheim Mighty Ducks
Ah!
when they
That's
had
two.
Man.
That's two, man. That's two.
Oh, damn it.
I'll take it.
Ah, damn.
when they just there's something that those were the most 90s thing of all time with the
Oh, man.
the duck mask, the weird teal color. It's just when you're not in a big hockey market like that and just leaning in and just trying to bring as many people in with a pop culture reference, I love it. I mean, they're awesome.
They're
Fuck.
pretty dope.
You took mine. Solid pick though. Then I guess that leaves me. I'm gonna have to take the Seattle Supersonics here.
Ooh,
The
okay.
next pick.
Oof. Got a reroute now. Got two of my picks taken, so I'm trying to go on the fly. But I do have one that has not been taken. One very underrated uniform, the '90s LA Kings uniforms,
Oh,
which
the
I'm
purple
still searching for to this
black?
day. I need the uniform. If it's a Gretzky, even better. But if it's something regular, a regular player, I don't mind. But I need that jersey. It's so clean. It fits right in with the culture. It fits in right with LA at that time. Perfect jersey.
Solid. You might as well pick another one too.
Oh no, you gotta skip me, man. I gotta
Yeah, you
think
gotta
of
go
something
back to the drawing
All
board.
right. I can finish mine out. I think
All
I
right.
got my last two. So actually I'll just pick one since we're skipping around. So I don't want to take anybody's. But I'm probably gonna go with the Marshall Faulk era, the St. Louis Rams jerseys. I just love those blue and yellow.
Hell yeah.
I think
They're back too, right?
yeah.
All right.
But the new jerseys kind of look a little different.
A little
Questionable.
bit, yeah.
Yeah, they look different. I think the blues look is the
The
blue a
helmet.
little bit different or
The helmet's different too.
Yeah, they have like
Yeah.
it's like almost like yellow's just weird. It's like a bone, I think they're calling the color or something like that.
Yeah. I don't. The helmet I think looks kind of weird, and their new logo too. The LA Rams logo. I don't know how I feel about that, bro. I like the classics.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Fuck. Pissed off about those Ducks. Should have drafted them first like I had planned. Anyway. What do you got for us, Innkeeper?
All right, I will go with I'm gonna go a little home cooking here, and I'm gonna go with the White Sox '83s. They've been wearing them on Sundays for about 5-6 years now. It's just the white pullover with the white. It's the blue and red block across the chest. It's simple, but it works.
It sure does, but is that the one that Chris Sale cut up too, or is that a different one?
No, that was a different one. That was they were wearing these black and white throwbacks to 1917s, and he cut them up.
Oh man.
Yeah, Trouble in Paradise.
Damn. Well, I guess on the spot here, I'll probably take those old school Stroh's uniform.
Rose.
Those are cool. But there's nothing else like those in sports now. Those are cool.
Yeah, very good, very good. But all right. I think I'm gonna go '90s with this one again, and I'm gonna pick Bad Boy Pistons.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh.
Nice.
The teal ones or the OG
the OG ones. The teal ones I was never a fan of.
Okay.
Ain't feel
the
right.
Grant Hill era.
Yeah.
You're talking about the Isaiah Thomas, Dennis Rodman era.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good stuff.
Probably my last.
one.
Yeah, my last pick. I'm probably gonna go with the old school Raptors jerseys. The Toronto Raptors jersey. I mean, it's a classic. So got a Raptor on it.
Nice.
And then I will finish out with the Tampa Bay Creamsicle Buccaneer jerseys. I mean,
oh my God, dude, the '80s fucking.
Yeah.
Those are. I mean, I don't know why they're not wearing those now. That just that represents the city so well with that color scheme. And yeah, I mean, the orange is kind of ugly, but I love them.
Yeah.
All right. Quick take on the worst retro jersey.
The Green Bay Packers.
Yep, I was gonna say the same thing, bro. The Bumblebee ones or whatever.
Yeah, those are so
man.
bad.
Those are horrible.
Terrible.
It's terrible. I thought someone would pick it out of just sheer irony or trying to be a wise guy, but all right. Let's see. We got football, basketball, baseball. Are we missing anything? We got couple hockey.
Missing soccer.
Soccer.
I guess I'll just go the throwback Seahawks too, just to pander to the fucking PNW over here. Those jerseys are dope. Those teal and blue.
Are you in Seattle?
I am in Seattle. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, bro. I used to go there for work. Gorgeous area.
I like that colorway though. It's like N64-esque with those colors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have one more pick, right?
Yeah, you do.
All right, I'm gonna go very, very unconventional, but I'm gonna go the all green Hartford Whalers.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hockey
That
team. Great
logo
uniforms.
is so dope.
Yeah, I need that. I need the hat.
Yeah.
It's very dope.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That was a good list. Anyone we missed or didn't?
I got my 5.
Oh,
I think that
It was a very hard list to make, to be honest.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
I think hockey-wise, I think the old Coyotes jerseys that they've been wearing a little bit during the bubble too.
Oh
those are
yeah, I
kind of
remember
a mission.
those. Those were